What's up, guys? It's Derrick with Superbike Life, and as you can see, today we are out on a beautiful 2016 Aprilia Tuono 1100 factory. Courtesy of GOAZ Motorcycles in Scottsdale. This bike is an absolute beast. We're going to be test riding two naked bikes today, quite possibly the two best naked bikes in the industry. This one, as well as a 2015, I believe, KTM 1290 Super Duke R. So some of the specs on this bike. It's 1100cc V4, obviously. It has about 172 horse at the crank and about 88 foot-pounds of torque. That translates to somewhere about 159, 160 at the rear wheel. But this has the full AK system, not just the slip-on. This is a full AK system with the race ECU. So we probably got a little bit more. And it tips the scale at about a 460, 470 pounds-ish. Very upright seating position. Beautiful red wheels. This has the full Öhlins front forks, Öhlins rear shock. Well, let's fire her up and see what that beautiful AK, full AK exhaust sounds like. Let's give it a quick burp. Not bad at all, not bad at all. She has all of 1,979 miles on her. Damn thing is brand new almost. What I can tell you right off the bat, very comfortable riding position. Feels a little bit tall, but still very comfortable riding position. And she is very light on her feet for a bike that's closing in on 500 pounds. Again, it's 472, I think, is wet weight listed on the spec sheet. So I sort of feel like I'm perched on top of the bike, but I'm also in a more upright riding position. So it's still very comfortable. And guess what? The mirrors are actually usable. I could use them for more than just looking at my elbows. The AK exhaust sounds pretty good. I still prefer the SC Project exhaust on the Aprilia V4s. It's a little bit more throaty, a little bit louder. I know people don't like loud pipes, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but I do want to hear my exhaust, but it does sound better than, ooh, that was kind of dicey right there. I like my exhaust kind of loud. Plenty of torque down low. Let's see, it looks like I'm in race mode. Obviously second gear. Traction control is set at 8. Very responsive. You can really get in trouble on a bike like this. We'll take it out here on the highway and see what the wind is like, as this has a really short fairing as opposed to the sport bikes that I normally ride. You can get tucked behind them, but this is really short, but it looks like it throws the air up and over you. But we'll check that out here on the highway in just a second. We won't put too many miles on it, but it is a used bike, so we won't worry about that too much. So like I said, we're going to test this back to back with the 2015 KTM 1290 Super Duke R. For naked bikes, those are probably the two best 1000cc plus naked bikes available today. They have both received rave reviews, and they are very, very similar. The KTM boasts more torque, I believe at about 90 foot-pounds, but less horsepower. I think it comes in at somewhere around 152 at the rear wheel, and this one is about, like I said, 160 at the rear wheel without the AK exhaust, so it's probably a little bit more. But that bike is considerably lighter. The KTM fully wet comes in, I believe, at 417. So that's a significant difference. Real easy to pull away from neutral. Tips in really nice. And the front wheel comes right up in second gear. Yeah, I would get in trouble with this bike. Note to self, do not buy this bike. Do not buy this bike. Let's check the quick shifter. Very smooth, very nice. I think I just spooked that car. That's all right. Let's give her a quick rip, shall we? Holy shit. Yeah, this thing scoots as expected. The 1100cc V4. That's pretty much a naked RS V4 factory. But yeah, lots of wind buffering. And again, that's probably to be expected with a naked bike. Actually, we'll go this way. We'll take a right here. Nice Merc. And this little section of road here in Scottsdale has a few twisties, but the cops like to sit up here too, so I gotta behave. Very light on its feet. Very quick to accelerate in the mid-range. That was a run up to red line. Brakes are really good, but they're Brembo, so I expected as much. Yeah, nice bike. Turns very easy. But we can adjust, just like the RS V4, we can adjust the traction control and everything on the fly here with the toggle buttons over here on the side. Let's see if we can get a D-cell burble here. No D-cell burble, but it's probably because it's tuned properly. Yeah, I don't feel 470 pounds on this bike. But it is a wheelie machine. I can tell you that right now. Just power wheelies. Grab a handful of throttle in first and second gear. and that front end will come right up for you. I'm not feeling any heat coming off the bike in the few minutes that we've been riding it, other than normal engine heat, but I'm talking about, you know, Ducati level, roasting the family jewels kind of thing. That's not happening. Very snappy, not a whole lot of play in the throttle. It's very responsive. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. I am liking this a lot. Initial assessment of this bike is really good. Nothing bad to say about it whatsoever. If you are vertically challenged, this bike would be a little bit probably tall for you. Over there in the distance, we got Maserati, Ferrari, Lambo over here at the Penske dealerships. BMW, Audi, Range Rover, Jaguar, Porsche down here in the end. They got some of everything. They're pretty cool too. You can just come on over here and hang out for the day and test drive shit. But back to my assessment. This bike is really good. Nice, easy upriding position. I don't think I'd want to take this bike out on a long ride where I'm on the highway a lot. Particularly if you like stretching the limits to triple digits. That wind might be a little much. But very comfortable. If I could use this every day as a commuter kind of thing and be very happy with the bike and have lots of fun. If I was the wheeling kind of guy, but I'm not. But again, if I had this bike in my collection, I probably would be. It would probably be very hard not to be. The ride on the Öhlins makes it a very pleasant ride. You get a lot of feedback from the bike, so you know exactly what it's doing. The handlebars are in a really nice position. For me, I wouldn't change them. I'm about 5'11", and this is a nice position. I'm not leaned way over, but I'm not, you know, completely vertical like on a cruiser kind of thing. So it's still a very sporty ride, but very comfortable for long hauls. But again, on highways with no windshield here, or virtually no windshield, that wind could beat you up a little bit. So we'll head on back to the dealership now and take the KTM out for a spin. I'm always amazed every time I ride a new Aprilia V4 at how smooth the engine is. I mean, there's virtually no engine vibration or anything coming back. It's just super smooth. If you have an opportunity to take one of these out for a spin, I highly recommend it. Got high quality components. Everything looks like it's very well made, but you know, then again, it's an Aprilia. It's an Italian sport bike, so I would expect nothing less. Okay, we're back here at the dealership, and I can see the KTM is over there. Well, here's the 2016 KTM 1290 Super Duke. Again, courtesy of GOAZ Motorcycles. This isn't actually a used bike. This is a 2016 leftover. So they're only going to let me put about 5 miles on the thing. So this will be a quick demo ride. I probably won't be able to get it out on the highway. But the specs on this are very similar to the Tuono that we just took out. Obviously, it's 1290 cc's, so almost 1300 cc's. It has about 152 at the rear wheel, so a little bit less than the Tuono. Creates about 90 foot-pounds of torque at the crank, so it's got a couple of foot-pounds of twist on the Tuono. It's a V-twin, but this tips the scale, I believe, wet at about 417 pounds. And in typical KTM fashion, it has the WP, the work suspension, front and rear, Brembo brakes. But enough talk, let's get this out on the road. So what I noticed right off is that on full turn, you get your thumbs on the tank here, which is never a good thing. is that both bikes, again, feel very tall, but this bike you feel more upright on and even more exposed. As you see, there is no front fairing here at all, or windshield, wind deflector, whatever you like to call it. There's nothing there whatsoever. The mirrors are pretty good, which is, they're not as good as the Aprilias, but they're still pretty good. The last KTM I rode, which was a 2010 RC8, those mirrors were horrible. They were all over the place. And just a quick trip down the road here, even though this bike has more torque, it feels more flat and weak on the low end. It's also a very compact bike. There's not a whole lot of room to move around. So as I'm sitting on this, as I'm sitting on this bike, my butt cheeks are right up against the back of the seat. So there's not a whole lot of room to slide forward or slide back and give yourself some space. It's not as tall as the Aprilia, which means I can get more of my foot on the ground, but it's certainly a more upright riding position. Very nimble, very well balanced, just like the Tuono. But I think the Tuono does a better job of being a naked bike rather than this one. This is a very nice bike. Obviously it has the stock exhaust on it, so it doesn't sound as nice as the Tuono with its full AK system on it. Brakes are good, as expected. They're Brembo, so I wouldn't expect anything less. And one of the disappointing things is that this doesn't have a quick shifter, let alone an auto blipper. So that's really disappointing. That's a negative in its cap. I think the Tuono with the Öhlins combination is better than this V-twin KTM WP combination. The bike is fairly smooth for a twin. It's not a whole lot of rattling and vibration being transferred. It accelerates well. Certainly will get out of its way in the way of others. But I think overall, and again, I've only had I don't know, what, 2-3 minute ride on this now, so not very long at all, but it is still a very good bike. I'd have to change out the stock exhaust, obviously. We would need something with a little bit more noise. The other thing, the throttle seems to be a little bit laggy. It's not as responsive as the Tuono, although there's not a whole lot of slop in it. Not crazy about the instrument cluster and the LCD display on this bike. But not a bad bike at all. Not a bad bike at all. So thank you to GOAZ Motorcycles once again for allowing me to test ride both of their bikes. The Aprilia 1100 V4 Tuono factory, as well as the KTM 1290 Super Duke R. If I had to buy one of those bikes today, it would be the Aprilia all day long, twice on Sundays. I think it's just a better all-around bike in my opinion. Not that the KTM is a bad bike, it's just I think the Aprilia is better. But that is a wrap for this episode, guys. I'm Derrick, this is your Superbike Life. If you like this video, please click like, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't, smash it and let me know why. Let me know. Leave me a comment either way. You know, as I said before, comments are always helpful. If you didn't like it and you didn't leave me a comment, then I don't know what I need to change. But subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I am Derrick. This is Superbike Life. Until next time, guys, take care.